Hi, Claire Hubbard here. We've just delivered some online free Zoom training looking at our phonics and spellings resources, and I know that some of you couldn't get there. So I'm just going to show you some of the resources that we've got for phase 5 and 6 that might help you if you're trying to teach these during the lockdown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm looking at. So just give me a second. Okay, so first of all, what I wanted to show you was the phonic charts. This is reception, and it goes up to phase 2, but we use these in all of our resources for phonics because we've got our own icons and we've made the vowels red, and it goes right down all the way down quickly. I'll just quickly show you up to year 6 at the bottom. That's very busy, but we've got them for different year groups. And that links in very well to this. This is the reception teaching overview. It's got phase 2 and shows you where to put them, but where you can teach certain things. But again, it goes on so that we've got year 1 and 2 to show you where we can teach phase 5 and phase 6. But with that in mind, I can show you now some things that might help with actually delivering this online. Okay, this is just an example. I've taken you back to phase 4 just to show you how we tend to structure our phonics lesson. It might help you during lockdown to follow the same sort of structure, because what we tend to do is to have a reading lesson, to either read the structure of the words on Monday, and then we'll look at the words reading again on Tuesday within captions or sentences. Wednesday is a tricky word. I'll show you some tricky words, but perhaps not from a unit, because I've got them on a list to show you that you can access if you want, and then you can sort out which ones you want for your children. They do link with the common exception words as well. I'll show you that in a moment. So we've got Monday, reading words. Tuesday, reading sentences and captions. Wednesday, we'll be doing tricky words, common exception words. Thursday, we'll then be looking at spelling. So we want them to be able to write these as well. So we'll be looking at spelling using the structure, if you're doing phase 4, like CVCC or so on. But we'll also be looking at the spellings of the words using the phonemes from phase 3, okay, and the graphemes from phase 3, in this unit particularly. And then on the 5th day, Friday, if you like, you can do it whatever day you like, but we tend to do that on a Friday. We'll then look at the spellings in sentences or captions. So if I'm not going to put this on slideshow just because I want to show you on here. We have an introduction. We use the chart. There's the year 1 chart. We will show them some sounds and perhaps get them to read the sounds first of all. Oral blending, this is also very good for looking at sounds in words and just getting to practice that oral blending so you can hear the clarity of the sounds. Now, you can't hear them if you're not doing live, but if I was doing this and I was recording, I would be modelling this so that the parents have got an idea how you want to say it as well, because they might not know. So you could choose a few, do different ones each day if you like, but just show them how you use your hands if you do this or whatever actions you use. So you're modeling that so that the children know what you're doing because you've been doing it with them when they're in the classroom, but the parents actually see it as well. So that's the model for blending. And then start to bring the sounds together using sound buttons. So you could model it again. So let's make a word. Is it an alien word or is it a real word? Choosing the sound buttons. We then go on to blending to read. Now, because this is phase 4, and you can see we're in CVCC and CCVC, so we're actually using CVCC here, but we're using digraphs because they do need to learn that the digraphs are actually part of CVCC. So we'll be reading these out and they're highlighted if they're digraphs. So blending to read, again, lots and lots of opportunity for modelling, especially if you haven't got that live interaction. Then get them to do it on their own, silently, but again, because we're doing this during lockdown, give them a chance to do it, tell them to pause it, then go through it and model it. You do want to show them. With the alien words, it's just the same. using sounds and graphemes that they've done before. Again, get them to do it first, or model it, get them to copy you. Depends what stage they're at, and you know your children best how you want to do this. Now, because this is day 1 of week 3, this is reading, so we would get them to read these sounds and just show them some different examples. Again, lots of modelling. If you put it on slideshow, it takes these wiggly lines out anyway. If you want to point to anything, I use the annotate tool on Zoom, and it brings up a little spotlight there. But you can draw on here as well. If I just show you, you can draw using the Zoom tools, which is quite useful. You can even put boxes around or anything. So you can draw on it, you can put text in it, so you can say, yes, Welsh flag. It just depends. You can make it bigger, all sorts. It's just the same as with anything that you can do. So you can add to this as you're doing it. Obviously not on screen share, but I tend to do it in Zoom whilst I'm doing this, and then you can record it and add it to wherever you want it to go. And then if I just take that annotation off, because it just carries on, the next page is, look at all those annotations. So if I just clear the screen there, clear all drawings, that will go. And then you tell the children to use the blending skills to read all the words and circle the words that matches the pictures. And that we've got as a Word document that you could then give to the children either as PDFs, or if it's recorded, they could just take a picture of that or just point to it. It depends what recording system you've got within your school. Every school seems to be doing different things at the moment. Okay, so I'm just going to pause this for a second so I can show you something else. Okay, so this time I'm just going to show you the very first one we've done for phase 5, week 1, because we're going to look at alternative graphemes here. We haven't completed these yet. We've just about finished week 1, but that's what we're going to be working on soon. But this one will be available this week, and then we'll do week 2, week 3, week 4. It's a really big phase, so you can imagine it takes a while. But it follows the same structure, as you can see. We'd go through the sounds, we'd look at oral blending and segmenting, we'd be blending to read, silent reading, alien words, and then this one, segmenting to spell. I've chosen this day 4, just to show you how to spell. So we'd be putting them in phoneme frames there and getting them to spell them out. And then their work would be to write a list of objects you can see and use the grapheme chart. So they can just try and write down these words, but some of them will have the IE. I think this one is IE. Yes, it's the new sound IE. Okay, so that's basically following the same structure. Okay, now on this one, I've actually put it onto slideshow just to show you. This is year 1, because it's got the modules in that helps us to teach the spellings and the phonics. This happens to be ED. You've got the Phonics Charts. It shows you the 3 sounds of ED. So now we're looking at leading the spellings in with the phonics, even in year 1. So anything that you've got to teach spelling wise within year 1 will be within these modules. Let me just go back and show you where they are. So it's called Teaching Spellings in the Primary School Using Phonics. There's 14 modules, I think, for year 1, and there's 20 for year 2. It goes through what a suffix is and the different sounds they make here. Got pictures, as you can see, and it shows you where the words would fit in, sorting them out. So you could teach whilst you're showing them this, because it's an editable PowerPoint. You can add things in or take them out. But this is year 1, so the root word just stays the same. You can see weighted, and so on. But we're looking at handed, bumped, loved, weighted. We're looking at the different sounds at the end and looking at them. It even looks at the verbs and some common misconceptions by putting the T's there. You'll see that quite a lot. So we'll just show those. And there'll usually be a little task at the end to help too. I'm just going to show you now the year 2 one. Okay, so this is year 2 module 1. If I just go right down to the bottom, you can see this is the module content. So we've got everything linked in with the phonics for year 2 here. And we've also got this one, which is looking at the spelling patterns as well. Okay, so we've got both here. Again, it follows the same pattern as before. We're looking at the just sound, for example, here, and we're going through why they're spelt that way. It's all animated. So it goes through all the reasons and why they're spelt that way. And it helps to teach and give the subject knowledge and the reasons why these words are spelt this way, as well as showing some words and some. And the last thing I want to show you is the decodable and tricky words slides shows that we've got. So we've got all of the phase 2 words. These come up individually. There's just flashcards really, but it's easier to have flashcards here than actually holding them up. And then it's got the tricky words for phase 2, as you can see. This looks muddled because if I put you on a slideshow now, it'll take it off the screen, but it'll just shows the different words coming up, and it goes all the way through the other ones. That's all the slides we've got. You can see there's hundreds of them. So it's the high frequency words for letters and sounds, but I've highlighted anything that is phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, whether they're tricky, whether they're common exception words or not. For example, look at beautiful here. You can see that is a common exception word for year 2. Okay, so they're all labelled, and you can just flash them up and help the children to learn them as we go along. Okay, so thank you. We'll put the links to any of those resources in. As I say, we're using bits and bobs as and when we need to. Depends on what you're teaching and obviously what your children know already. But if you want anything, if you want support with anything, let us know. We're here to help. And good luck. All right, thank you.